Hello again, YouTube! This is Dr. Kendo, and I'm here with Scribblenauts Unlimited, the Object Editor commentaries, where I create whatever is most popular, most requested based on your comments, the most amount of different viewers. That's what we'll create each week, stuff from movies, gaming, TV shows, and all that. And I create it here in this game, which is Scribblenauts Unlimited, and the Object Editor is one feature of the game, only for the Wii U and PC versions of this game. We started off with a Yeti as the source object because we're going to be creating Chewbacca today, and here on the 8th page of the color pattern library, you know, it's that little paintbrush down there in the bottom middle, and also on the first page. Those are kind of the patterns that we used. You can see that 8th page one was like white with some gray streaks in it. That's just going to be for some background hair and stuff like that, because pom-pom, which we just typed in and put down here on the leg that is closest to us, or more so the thigh, the upper part of the legs, and that pom-pom is going to be more of the hair and stuff for Chewbacca, but we did just kind of want a pattern underneath that in case there was any of the Yeti skin showing, I guess you could say. We took off the feet of the Yeti, but we did keep on those thighs from the original Yeti, and so taking away the feet is mostly just because I didn't want them to get in the way. They're a very weird shape and everything. You might be able to do it though with keeping them in. I just didn't want them to interfere. The advantage to keeping the feet on would be that your object is going to sink into the ground much less. Part of Scribblenauts Unlimited is that if you remove any of the source object's legs, or leg pieces basically, where it touches the ground, it is going to sink into the ground a lot lower when you remove them. A chicken nugget is going to be for little feet down there amidst all of these pom-pom hairs, so you can see that we kind of have like 4 pom-poms total for each leg. One goes on the upper thigh pieces, and then 3 stacked kind of on top of each other in this pattern here go above the chicken nugget but serve as the little bottom leg piece where the foot is. Now so far we have 3 pom-poms on the body. Those can be a lot bigger just to fill more space there in the body. I did start putting some pom-poms on the arms and then just kind of adjusting the leg pom-poms. We want basically the reason that I'm going through so many adjustments and things out of order, I guess, is that Chewbacca, you know, I don't want his legs to be really tiny compared to his body. You know, he's kind of very tall, of course, and hairy, but the hair, it's not like one part of his body is much bigger than the other or anything like that, disproportionately, I should say. We just put down a bondrick. It's going to be this strap right here across his chest, kind of all the way down to a holster down there next to his leg near his hip. And hopefully you also notice that the hairs that are not only on the thigh pieces kind of connecting where his waist is to the body, but also the shoulder hairs, those have a kind of darker consistency to them, a darker color. And so with that, I felt we could get some dimension and depth, but also make note that Chewbacca isn't just one completely solid color. He does have the other colors of hair within that very long fur of his. So during the properties editing, which is where we're at right now in the video, I like to read background information and fun facts about the characters we're creating. So, Chewbacca, otherwise known as Chewie, is a Wookiee portrayed by Peter Mayhew in the Star Wars films. A 200-year-old Wookiee, Chewbacca becomes Han Solo's buddy after Han refused an order to kill him back when Han Solo was an Imperial officer. Chewbacca is 8 feet tall, covered in hair, and loves to use the Wookiee bowcaster as his weapon of choice. It's like a crossbow energy beam weapon. In a slew of now random fun facts, I can tell you, Entertainment Weekly actually named Chewbacca one of the greatest sidekicks in film history. His name was changed in Italy to Chewbacca, and his creation was inspired by George Lucas seeing his own dog in the passenger seat of his car, with the name Chewbacca being derived from the Russian word for dog, sounding a bit like Chewbacca. The voice for Chewbacca was created with recordings of walruses, lions, camels, tigers, badgers, and more, oh my, with one of the most prominent components of the Chewbacca voice being a black bear named Tariq from the Happy Hollow Zoo in San Jose, California. Hopefully you guys saw my little skit hint announcer video on Friday. Yes, well, you're probably all aware of Chewbacca Mom, a 37-year-old mother from Texas who filmed herself after buying the Chewbacca mask and just could not stop laughing, showing us all it's the simple joys in life. So definitely check that out if you didn't see it on Friday. But we started off with the head as the source object, put the pom-pom over that, and then another pom-pom back behind the original pom-pom that we placed down there. Color it that same Chewbacca fur color that you had before, and now a cobia fin, that kind of middle fin in the front. That's going to be the mouth, the main part of his mouth being open. You can do a lot of different things for Chewbacca's mouth. You know, if you want to just do like a jellyfish upper tentacle piece just for a line or whatever to kind of give him a neutral mouth, that's cool too. Irish moss is what we put for the teeth on both the top and bottom. But we're also going to add in a cuttlefish and take one of those tendril pieces, kind of the one closest to us, I would say, the furthest to the right on the very edge of the little tentacles. And so then a scorpion, taking the bottom middle tail piece. That's going to be for the nose of Chewbacca right there. We'll color it black almost all the way, have a little bit of shine on the edge of that nose. A goldfish bottom fin is what we're going to use for the main white parts of Chewbacca's eyes right there. We're going to kind of move some things down here a little bit so that they're all in the right spot first, but we'll paste another goldfish fin to be for the other side's eye. Then type in worm and grab that middle body piece, and that's going to be for, by my design, this black that's kind of around Chewie's eyes right there. I thought that looked pretty good and detailed, so now we can type in P-E-A, and make that kind of be for the iris right there. And Chewbacca does have, actually, I kind of had to think for a second, what color are Chewbacca's eyes? Google will tell you kind of like blue, but I looked at a lot of different images of him, and it kind of depends on the lighting and everything like that often, but it's like a really blue-gray kind of color. And so edit your Chewbacca eyes how you want them, but I thought that was pretty accurate right there. Of course, pimple for the pupil in the eye, as well as the glimmer or glisten shininess of the eye as well, kind of around all that. And another cobia fin painted with a darker fur color. I put that right where basically a mustache would be if Chewbacca had a stash, and just above the mouth, you know. Again, for some detail in the fur. So if you create a head and a body separately in Scribblenauts Unlimited, like I have here, you want to go into the Properties editor, and under the Equipment tab, check off that third circle that says can be worn on the face like glasses, and that will hopefully put it kind of in the right place. You're going to need to do a little bit of editing though, so it may not be perfect. I'll show you coming up pretty soon. But we do have another design for Chewie for the head. This is something that I thought actually was a little bit more accurate. You know, if you want to show that the hair is a lot longer, you can just type in hair after you kind of get that base design that I last did, and then put those pieces of hair, there's about 3 of them, put them under where the chin is, and that right there is a hairy Chewbacca head. And so you can see here, when we put the head on the body though, it looks very far forward, like he's sticking his head out or his neck out forward. So we don't want that, obviously. So what you need to do is then go back to editing your body object, turn on the green grids. It's on your left side panel of buttons and things that you can use. Well, the green grids are that little Maxwell head banana wheel icon button right there. Okay, so it turns on these green grids. Click the one that is where his head is, click or tap, and then just use the arrows to move that over. And since the Yeti, if it wears glasses like we scripted our head to be, then the glasses are really far forward on the Yeti's head, because even the Yeti's head is really far forward. And so when we took that head off, we didn't move the green grid for it backwards. So you do want to move it pretty far back, almost where it doesn't even seem right. Like it seems like you moved it too much. But right here, we've got our Kylo Ren design from the Kylo Ren and BB-8 episode. I know that was a big one last December. And so here I gave Chewie a big silver crossbow to kind of substitute as his weapon here. We made Kylo Ren start to attack, but it looks like he's only interested in me. Leave me alone. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Chewbacca is now more in his face and being attacked by him. So the Yeti battle animation looks a little bit strange, as you can see, but overall, I think that this is good. You know, to me, it looks like a pretty good Chewbacca put into the Scribblenauts world. Obviously, in Scribblenauts Unlimited, things aren't gonna like always be the exact 100% replica spitting image and everything like that, because it's in the Scribblenauts universe, which often kind of has like these more wide bodies that look with like big bodies, kind of big heads, but short. So I try to kind of course, have accuracy to whatever film or gaming character we're creating or TV show, but then I also try to give it a little Scribblenauts feel. So now you know how to make Chewbacca. I hope it was helpful for you, and anybody who is a supportive subscriber here in Kendopolis, you are so amazing. I thank you so much. Leave your comments below, and whatever is most popular or most requested by the most amount of different people will be created next Sunday, and I will catch you guys on the next vid. And thanks for viewing.
Like a spectacle, so you can be the viewer and sit down the road of